This is a quick overview of QM for Windows looking at forecasting. What I want to do is run through very quickly moving average, weighted moving average, maybe a quick exponential smoothing model, and then possibly trend projections, a regression model. Just going through, we click on module, then go down to forecast, click on file, new, and I'll start off with a moving average. So we'll do a time series analysis, and on this one I'm just going to take the Wallace Garden example that's right out of the book, and actually you can do it, A's, B's. We did this in class, but here's another quick overview. We'll do the month because this was a monthly situation, looking at demand, and it populates that whole side for you. So all we need is to put in the numbers of 10, 12, 13, 16, 19, 23, 26, 30, 28, 18, 16, and 14. Actually, I messed that up a little bit, but no biggie, one way or the other. I missed one of the numbers as I was cruising through. But we have all of our different approaches right here: moving average, weighted moving average, exponential smoothing model, trend projections. It's all right there for our forecasting. And I will do a 3-period moving average. So we click on moving average, go over to this button, click on 3 periods, and we click OK. And that provides us our material for the 3-period moving average. Most importantly, it gives us our forecast moving forward. Also recall the mean absolute deviation gives us a way to actually evaluate one forecasting approach against the other. We'll probably want to pull up a graph, and we can see our graph here. Black, the actual data. Blue is our smoothing effect from our 3-period moving average. And it's really rather straightforward that our forecast, our graph, and our mean absolute deviation are really critical to doing an effective forecast. Going to our next one, again, this is just mirroring some of our discussion. Let's do a weighted moving average. With a weighted moving average, we've got all our data right here that we've already plugged in. Let's go 3-period, and the most recent weight, let's give it a 2, and let's give the others a 1. 1 and 1. So the most recent data has the most weight, and then the other ones are rather normal. We can solve for that, and we get our data right here. Again, our mean absolute deviation doesn't seem to have changed that much. Our next period forecast is a little bit different, but not extraordinary. And I'll pull up our graph just for that visual. Actually, it looks a little bit better, but you can see a lot of variation here that would provide a weak forecast. Again, these are just real quick overviews. Let's close that one out, and let's go with a exponential smoothing model. Click exponential smoothing. Our alpha is right there. We can go up as high as 1 and as low as 0. And let's do a 0.5 alpha. Whoop. Mess that up somehow. I mean a 0.55 alpha. Yeah, you can mess around with that, but don't want to waste everybody's time. Here we're seeing actually the 0.5 alpha really does mirror the 3-period moving average. There's a mean absolute deviation at 5. Our next forecast at almost, I think the 3-period moving average was 14. But there's our data. We bring up our graph here, and we can see our graph. Interesting, doesn't provide a great forecast, and we had talked about this in class about the seasonal effect really doesn't, the 3-period, the exponential smoothing, those approaches really don't take advantage of that. And the last one I would like to talk about very quickly is just the linear regression. And I will go with the least squares linear regression. Click on that. And I can already see we've got to fill in our time frame here. So 1, 2, 3. We've got those set right there. And now we can click solve. And we can see a couple of things. First of all, we've got our mean absolute deviation so we have a point of comparison. We have our regression model here. Y is equal to 16.1 plus 0.32 times our time for our x variable. Our correlation coefficient of determination are interesting. What is most interesting here is really looking at our regression. It cuts the data right through the middle. It really provides what I would consider a poor forecast, but it's interesting, and it allows us to get a different understanding about this data and maybe what should be ordered and what shouldn't be ordered. Again, the key to this was again to very quickly illustrate QM for managers and some of these different approaches we went through in class. I hope this is of value, and of course if you do have any specific questions you can always contact me directly. Thank you.